my Motina. This thing is almost gone. We're live. What's up, my people? It's your girl, Adeola. Mr. President is declaring for the election.
As a united and democratic country.
Wait. Is that a generator? Hey, I beg, change it.
I promise that I will not hand over polio to anybody. We must end polio. Also,
Sorry about that, my people. The teleprompters were slow. Play it again.
the 220 billion naira micro, small and medium enterprise development fund and the 3 billion naira grant to Nollywood.
Jay, how come I didn't know about this? Nobody told me that is where the money has been going to. Nollywood. I need to go and audition. All I have to do is say, there is God.
I want to appreciate ordinary Nigerians, the Market Women Association, who encouraged me by committing some funds to support me.
Hey, so even market women contributed their money for the campaign expenses of Mr. President.
In the same day, I'm touched by the National Association of Widows, who also encouraged me with their widows' minds.
The widows too? Call it the one where were we now when everybody was contributing? Hey, wait a minute. I have to be part of this. You know, when something good is going on, you have to be part of it. That's just $1, $2, $3, $4. What do you have $1? Very early in the morning tomorrow, send this to Mr. President via Western Union. Our contribution, for the success of Nigeria. Oh, by the way, these widows that are giving their money, do we have some kind of social security program in Nigeria that, they get paid every month or something? You don't know. Do you know anything?
Therefore, after seeking the face of God...
Wait. Did I hear the face of God?
After seeking the face of God...
Nigeria. No. See, it pains me when people decide to do whatever they want to do and they have to bring God into the picture. Must you? Now, wow, I didn't know that my president seeks the face of God. I didn't know. Honestly, I didn't know that. And this God did not say anything about doing something about how Boko Haram has been killing people every day. Jay.
Therefore, after seeking the face of God, in quiet reflection with my family, and after listening to the calls of our people nationwide to run, I, good luck, Ebele, Azikiwe, Jonathan, have accepted to present myself.
That was good, wasn't it? That you guys can watch the whole speech. It's wonderful. So in case you guys didn't get that message, Mr. President, he's saying that it's not like he wants to run again. No. He's too humble to even think about second term. But since you guys have been insisting, you keep calling him, begging him to run, he's only accepting the mandate thrusted upon him by the people. How inspiring. As the president was declaring in Abuja, his supporters were watching and celebrating live in Johannesburg, in London, in Washington, D.C., in San Francisco, in LA, as well as Houston, Texas. They filled the pages of several newspapers that day, and the whole of Abuja was in a lockdown. You couldn't go anywhere. Congratulations, Mr. President. Alright, now let's talk about reality. A day before Mr. President's party, 48 students were killed on the assembly ground in Potiskum in Yobe by a Boko Haram suicide bomber. This happened about 7:30 in the morning while the students were on the assembly ground getting ready to go into their classes. In an instant, the assembly ground was covered with human body parts that had been blown all over. I'm sorry that I have to show you this graphic picture, but this is what happened. Their body parts were blown all over. They were dismembered. These are some people's children. No, we are not at war. We are not at war, but this is what happened. If any of the relatives happen to be watching, please accept our condolences. Sometimes we forget about those who were injured. Many of those children on the assembly ground that day, their lives will never remain the same. So many of them have now been handicapped. Some of them lost legs, hands. Many of them lost partial hearing due to the sound of the blast. Keep in mind, that we don't have any plan for the handicapped in Nigeria, they are now forever on their own. This is not the first time that such is happening in Yobe. Remember that in February of this year, 59 young boys were killed in their school at Buniyadi, also in Yobe State. In September of last year, 44 students and teachers were killed in a place called Guiba, also in Yobe State. In July of 2013, 42 students and teachers were killed in Mamudo, that's also in Yobe State, just to name a few. So yes, Mr. President went ahead with his party the very next day after this happened. Of course, he released a statement condemning the act. And guess what happened the day after Mr. President's big party? There was another bomb explosion at the Federal College of Education in Kotangura. 10 people were killed that day in that blast. You know, I saw the video released recently by Boko Haram and I couldn't believe the young guys, the young boys that I saw in the video. I mean, how can we not defeat this? Nigerian army is the best unmanned army in Africa. We've helped other countries to defeat insurgents. How can we not defeat our own insurgents? And speaking of the army, I heard that the Chief of Defense Staff, that is Air Chief Marshal Alex Bade, flew his own family out of Mubi just before it was taken over by Boko Haram. Of course, you guys know that Boko Haram has taken over so many towns and villages in the recent week. So did you guys hear that story about how he flew out his own family? Of course, the army denied it. They said that no, the story is not true. That's contrary to the claims by journalists that the helicopter that flew into Mubi was actually on an operational mission to reinforce the ground troops in preparation of efforts to repel the attack. Preparation of efforts to repel the attack. Seriously? Tell me, how did they know there was going to be an attack for them to repel? See what I'm saying? These people, they knew that Mubi was going to be attacked. There's nothing that happened with Boko Haram that the Ogas at the top are not aware of before it happens. They knew that Mubi was going to be attacked and they didn't stop it or at least evacuate all the people. Instead, the man took out his own family. Everybody else, you're on your own. See, that's why I keep saying this, and I really believe it, that if this government wants to end Boko Haram today, they'll do it. Now, for those who still think that this thing is only happening in the north, it can never get to you, I really don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. You may need to take a look at the map of Nigeria and take a critical look at all the places that Boko Haram has been striking and see how they are getting closer and closer to other parts of Nigeria. This thing is not just limited to the fringes, as Mr. President has been saying. So you may want to pay attention to what is going on and stop saying that, oh, it's just the northerners that are killing themselves. And even if it doesn't get to you, I'm sure that of the 3 million people that have been displaced, you're probably feeling it where you are because they're probably coming over to where you are. So now you all have to share the resources. So you might want to wake up on time. Now, you know that most people, when you're campaigning for re-election, is when you put up your best performance, and that's when you actually demonstrate your competence, especially in ensuring the safety of your citizens, right? So that we would vote for you, you know, kind of a thing. So if things are like this right now, that they are supposed to impress us, what do you think would happen after the elections are over? I mean, when they no longer need to impress us. Instead, they keep telling us that terrorism is a global issue. They tell us that Pakistan has been battling with insurgency for decades. And you know, as Rudolph Okonkwo said in his article, I think you guys should read it. I think this is just a polite way of preparing our minds to accept that these killings will continue to happen for a long time. But guess what? Nigeria is not Pakistan. Nigeria does not have the same history as Pakistan, and neither is Nigeria destined to be like Pakistan. We would only become like Pakistan if we leave this nation in the hands of those who have decreed such a Pakistani fate on Nigeria. And you know, why are we picking up a fight with the US? For no reason. For if America refuses to sell you arms, then go elsewhere. You refuse to keep your house together, and the US is politely disassociating itself from this administration, but you're not getting it. You think that they didn't know about all the money smuggled into South Africa in the name of trying to buy arms? Or you think that they are not seeing pictures like this one? Ladies and gentlemen, this is Alimadu Sheriff. I talked about him before. The man accused of funding Boko Haram. I mean, look at the security men that are surrounding this man, guarding him. These security guards were provided by the federal government. Look at the guns that they are carrying. And this picture was taken this week. You think that the US is blind to all of this? Not only that, several times the Nigerian military has been accused of extrajudicial killings in the name of fighting Boko Haram. So if the US refuses to sell you arms, why not just go elsewhere? Why do you need to pick up a fight? What about other weapons that Boko Haram is using? Didn't they steal most of them from the army barracks? If the US gives you new weapons, now tomorrow again they will tell us, oh, Boko Haram invades the military barracks and they've stolen all the weapons. I beg. By the way, is it true that they refuse to pay the rented crowds? They are 2,000 naira. Jay, that is God now. Only 2,000 naira. Habba. But you guys know I don't gossip. Wait till be my own. Once again, congratulations, my Oga, on your declaration for the election. You know, make sure you cast your votes, my people. Make sure that you cast your vote. And I can only wish Nigeria good luck in 2015. Guess what? I'm just keeping it real. Moving on to Sierra Leone. First of all, and I'm very guilty of this, I've not been giving you guys updates on the Ebola outbreak. Please accept my apologies. The crisis is still going on, and in fact, it's now worse than it was when it started. And as of today, more than 5,000 people have died of Ebola. Yeah, just, picture that in your mind. 5,000 people. At the beginning of October, there was a day that 121 people died in one day in Sierra Leone alone. As a matter of fact, those are the people that were reported dead. There were many more that died in the rural areas that the health workers were not even aware of. And as of today, more than 13,000 people have tested positive. Take a look.
We could end up seeing more cases a day than we have seen in total in the last 6 months.
The isolation ward at the hospital has just 18 beds. It's been at capacity for weeks. Francis Samuka has been sick for 4 days. His family have brought him here for treatment, but like all the other facilities they've been to today, it's full. So they're turned away.
And then we gone all the way different hospital. There is no treatment. So what is the government doing for us? We are dying. People are dying.
Just press it into your hands and wash. And 5 gloves for all of you.
Ebola is passed through close contact with infected people. As we get ready to leave, Luca hears of an Ebola bed that's just become free. But it's too late. Despite the family racing Francis to the isolation facility, we discovered the next day that he'd died.
Wow. This just breaks my heart, I mean, whatever trouble you and I think we have, you have no idea what it's like to be in a place like that at this point in time. Everybody is living in fear, and it's the same thing in Liberia. Even though the World Health Organization is saying that things are getting better in Liberia, that the death toll is starting to go down. A popular journalist who was actually making a documentary about the virus, his name is Sorios Samura. He was recently in Liberia, and he said that is not the case. That in fact, in many places in Liberia, things are actually getting worse. Especially because many people are burying their loved ones with their bare hands before the health workers get there. And this is due to the fact that they don't have enough health workers. So sometimes the health workers don't get there for days. And by that time, the bodies are already smelling. Another challenge is the fact that they are burying these bodies that have already been contaminated. And you guys know that they are saying that dead bodies are actually more contagious and more deadly. The virus still alive in these bodies. It's very sad that they are losing loved ones and they have to bury this many people. But at the same time, there are health concerns. People are saying, isn't it better if they cremate the bodies rather than bury them? Because what if, you never know what will happen in the future. And as you saw in the video, it's so unfortunate that Francis did not make it, that he died. I'm sure you guys could see his family members as well, that none of them was wearing a protective gear when they brought him. So it's possible that they've also been exposed to the virus. Another thing that I'm very concerned about is the children that have lost their parents, to this virus. Take a look at this.
65-year-old Arabic teacher Fode Kone has been left to take care of 31 children. 18 are orphans.
They were here with me when their parents died, and now they have no other place to go. So I had to embrace them, to take care of them and cater for them.
They were in the village, both of them, herself and her elder sister, who was 7 years old. They were abandoned in the village, in a house, where there were only 2 of them in that house.
Could you ask the children to raise their hands if they've been orphaned?
Oh my God. Just imagine that without any hesitation. See how all the children raise their hands that they are now orphans? And that's just in Sierra Leone. Do you know that there are speculations that by Christmas of this year, that is next month, that there would be at least 10,000 orphans due to Ebola? 10,000. What do you think will happen to these children? Already, as you can see in the video, many of them are staying with people who already have the virus. In fact, some of the children themselves are starting to show symptoms, yet they are playing with other kids.
Are you feeling okay? His head's aching, I'm sorry.
And so he returns to the others. If some of them don't have Ebola yet, they're now living beside people who definitely do.
I mean, look at that little boy. The person holding him was not wearing any protective gear, you know? Yeah, and that's pretty much how the virus has been spreading. At first, people didn't believe it's real, so when they start seeing symptoms, they would run into the bush so that health workers would not pick them up.
When I thought I had the sickness, I ran away into the bushes and hid. I thought that the disease was coming after me. I heard that a lot of people who come down with Ebola die. So when the ambulance came for me, I would hide.
That video is now a couple of months old. Most people now know better. But to be honest with you, I think that the main reason that things have gone so bad in Sierra Leone is majorly due to the fact that the government is corrupt. For example, do you guys know that of all the aid sent to Sierra Leone by the international community, only a fraction is getting to the people? Apparently, soldiers, policemen, officials are selling the bags of food donated by the international community while their own people are starving. These officials would gather the names of the people as recipients. They would print out these fake tickets. Meanwhile, they're taking the food and selling them and making money off of their people.
From day before yesterday, hold on come for this supplier. Then tell me for say law come today. We don't come today. We name them and been dumb. Today they don't agree for the Peter.
So you not get the food at all?
I not get at all. And for the supplier we not get. I make we get.
We not get?
We not get.
Why we not get? But the register we not know.
The register we will not get. Then they call the names. They will see somebody go send them a name. They take out again by proof business. I not get the supplier.
How many days you don't come here?
In the 2 days now we dey from here.
But I dey see you with paper. Which paper this?
Now the ticket again.
So they give you the ticket and not give you supply?
Nothing.
I'm just standing at Canada, they stamp me paper, but they don't give me food. They print
so
no more.
So now the ticket is the print and not give you food?
Nothing.
So really, what really go wrong? And the food not come, the food come along?
Well, food come, but the way food been they come out, people can get sleep. Then food they go, and the man that they care, they don't go. Police they care, they don't
go. So meaning police are involved by the supply?
Completely, because
police, soldier.
Still are not involved with them. Involve police and
soldier. So now they can take the supply.
Yes.
Do you know how many millions of pounds, millions of dollars has been donated to Sierra Leone and other countries? You know, I spoke with a viewer from Sierra Leone and he told me that there is no real quarantine in most places because the people in quarantine are literally starving, that they are not giving them any food. So guess what? These people would leave the quarantine centers to go and look for food. They come in contact with several people in the process, so they pass the virus to them. Also, when you look at the videos, you will see the lack of infrastructure, basic things like good roads. In so many places, I keep wondering how it is for health workers to get to so many of the patients. Now, what makes me upset is the fact that not only is the government of Sierra Leone aware of what's going on, they don't want people talking about it. So like the way I'm talking about this on this show, I cannot do this in Sierra Leone. A popular radio journalist known as David Tambario brought up this issue on his radio show. He asked where all the aid money was going to. And guess what happened to him? The president himself ordered his immediate arrest. His weekly show known as Monologue was yanked off the air and they arrested this man and beat him up. After that, they took him to a maximum security prison in Freetown. I was like, what? Maximum security prison? Because the man asked for the Sierra Leonean government to be accountable with the aid? And do you guys know that after they did that to that journalist, everybody else was afraid of asking where the aid is going to? Because they're all afraid of being put in prison. Seriously, the Sierra Leonean government is not ready to take charge and fight this virus. The government is too corrupt to see those that are dying. So it looks to me like Sierra Leoneans abroad, you guys will have to be the ones to put pressure on the government of Sierra Leone if you want to see anything done. You guys need to let the whole world know what is going on. If you don't, the government will continue to get away with it. Meanwhile, the number of infected people so far has been doubling every 4 weeks. So in the next 4 weeks, about 26,000 people may have tested positive. I'm not saying that that would happen. I hope it doesn't happen, but that has been the trend. It's been doubling every 4 weeks. Do you know how many millions of pounds, millions of dollars has been donated to Sierra Leone and other countries. So what I'm saying is, if this administration doesn't get its acts together, a major disaster may be on the way. The international community will not do everything for you. They won't be the ones to distribute the food. See, this is what pains me. There are only 6 million people in Sierra Leone. You should be able to manage the distribution of aid better than this. And to all my Sierra Leonean and Liberian communities here in the US, in Virginia and Maryland, New York, I want you guys to know that you're not alone. And for those of you that have lost relatives, please accept our condolences. May their souls rest in peace. We're hoping that the government will wake up and do the right thing. Guess what? I'm just keeping it real. Moving on to Kenya, some people came up with the idea of a wheelbarrow ambulance, and this thing has saved so many lives. Take a look.
With narrow roads, muddy tracks, and inaccessible health facilities, the people of Laini Saba in Kibera, Nairobi, watched helplessly for many years as their loved ones died on their way to hospital, majority of them pregnant women. It is an innovation conceived out of necessity. Before 2009, countless pregnant women lost their lives in Kibera, Laini Saba while walking to hospital.
So far, only 4 wheelbarrow programs operate in Kibera and 400 health workers.
Wow, now that's inspiring. That's inspiring. But you know, as much as I really appreciate what these people have done, the poverty is like so glaring. Did you guys notice? It was so difficult for me to appreciate what I was actually trying to appreciate when I was seeing the level of poverty. I was like, oh God. But we're very proud of what these people have done. They are saving lives. And guess what? I'm just keeping it real. Before I leave today, I'd like to read some of your emails. Our next email is from Raphael Mbachu. He says, thank you, Adeola. After you talked about my brother, I got a call from concerned viewers of your program, even from a pastor in California who prayed with me. A concerned citizen also called me from Nigeria, and a Ghanaian who lives in Egypt. Wow, thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate you. Those of you that reached out, thank you so much for reaching out to this family. So with this, I hope and believe that someday someone who might know something about my brother's whereabouts will bump into the video. Thank you so much, and I'm hoping so too. Once again, this is the picture of his brother that has been missing for some weeks now. If anyone should know anything, please contact Raphael Mbachu. And for those of you that contacted him, just to let him know that you're supporting him, I really appreciate that. I am so grateful to you guys. Thank you so much. You have no idea how much that means to me. Thank you so much. And our next email is from Usman Lawal Kofi, and he says, hi Adeola, concerning Zainab Aliyu's illness, I heard that Atiku Abubakar has paid the money. You played a vital role on this. God bless you. Oh my God, that's wonderful news. Oh, that's wonderful. Okay, a few weeks ago, I talked about a lady by the name Zainab Aliyu, and I'm so glad to hear that the former Vice President Atiku Abubakar has decided to pay her bills. I'm so grateful for this. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Our next email is from Ahmad Gaydam, and he says, hi Adeola, I'm currently studying in China. Attached is a picture of a very good friend of mine, also a classmate in secondary school by the name Mohammed Konto Abbas Saloom, popularly known as MCAS. He recently graduated from the University of Maiduguri. He was very generous and he gave an army officer a lift, and the soldier shot him and threw him out of the car and ran away with the car. Oh, that's sad. Some good Samaritans found Mohammed beside the roadside, bleeding to death. They hurriedly took him to the nearest hospital, but he never made it to the hospital. He struggled and managed to narrate the unfortunate incident to his helpers before he died. The soldier was later arrested with the car, and he's still under the custody of the police, but the military spokesman came out to the media saying that the man was not an army officer. Could you believe the lies that they are telling to cover up? Wow. Now I don't know who people should be scared of. Is it Boko Haram or the military personnel? Enough is enough. Wow. I'm so sorry about your loss, Ahmed. He attached pictures of Mohammed, and I believe this is the picture of him after he was shot. I hope that justice is served in this case. Nigeria, this breaks my heart. I don't know what to say. Please accept my condolences. I can just say that people be careful. Don't give rights to anyone that you don't know. Just because the person is wearing a military uniform or a police uniform doesn't mean anything. And also, it's not all the soldiers that are acting like this, and not all policemen are acting like this, but there are some people that have decided to take the laws in their hands, and we just have to be very careful. I hope that the Nigerian government will do something about it. And for Mohammed's family, please accept our condolences. May his soul rest in peace. Our next email is from Ken Chikwado, and he says, "Hi Adeola, 4 Nigerians are among those adjudged the best among 147 Doctor of Philosophy PhD graduates from the International Islamic University in Malaysia. The award-winning Nigerians are Dr. Imran Adesile Moshood, Dr. Aliyu Mokhtar Katsina, Dr. Mohammed Baba Ndaliman, and Dr. Raji Latif Akintunde. Wow, I witnessed the event and I was so happy for them for making us so proud. Ken Trust." Wow, thank you so much, Ken, for sending this. We are very proud of them. Congratulations for making us proud in Malaysia. Thank you so much. Our next email is from JJ Bengene, and he says, "Hi Adeola, in 2011 we were being deceived by their shoeless situation. Now that they have acquired so many sizes of shoes, we do not know what their next deceit would be. No matter what it is they are coming up with, we are fully prepared. If they like, they can go and manufacture good luck beer. We will drink it and even spend their ill-gotten money, then vote the right man for the job." Wow. Come May 29, 2015, the zoo man will leave Aso Rock and go back to his animals where he... Hey, Nigerians, I have a serious problem with how bold you guys are. No respect. There is no respect at all. No respect. You are calling my president a zoo man? He's a zoologist, right? Just because he studied zoology doesn't mean he's a zoo man. Be careful, Nigerians. You guys should respect your presidents now. At least learn from me. It's not good. Alright guys, that's all the time that I have for emails. Please keep sending your emails to adeola.keepingitreal@gmail.com. Alright y'all, it's been real and I'm keeping it real right up in here. Until next week, I'ma see y'all later. Peace out.
Welcome to Forstview Luxury Hotel. At Forstview Luxury Hotel, we offer excellent service. Our rooms have all the necessary facilities to make your stay comfortable and memorable. You will also have access to internet service, breakfast, 24-hour power supply, full air condition, free international calls, free tire pumping service, and free car battery charge. So what are you waiting for? Quickly visit Forstview Luxury Hotel. We are located at #1 Adeola Bamishile off Raji Rasaki Road, First Estate, Amuwo, Odofin Festac, Lagos. For more information or reservation, please call us on 08075787135 or 08099900601. You can also take advantage of our online ongoing promo at www.forceviewhotel.com to make your reservation and payment for your favorite room, which attracts a discount rate. Please note, rooms are reserved based on first come, first serve. Forstview Luxury Hotel. Experience the home of comfort. They come.